Hi, it's Cheryl with Caribou Country Lifestyle. Today I am on episode 5 and we are starting a lot of seeds for episode 5. I'm starting with the ones that have the most amount of conditions that you have to have them with. And so I'm going to be starting with phlox. And the phlox, I need them not on a heat map, but I do need to provide them with total darkness. And I have two types of phlox. I have a dwarf beauty phlox, and these ones get 8 to 10 inches high, and it's a mix of colors. Then I have a twinkle star mix phlox, and they have little twinkle star white centers on them, and these ones get 12 to 15 inches high. So I decided I would start with those, and I have some echinacea that I started last weekend, and I'm going to put this phlox in with the echinacea because echinacea, I started that and it needs to be in total darkness, but it needs warmth, whereas the phlox just need the total darkness, but they don't need the warmth to be able to germinate. So let's start those. I'm going to be starting these in my 3 by 5 inch trays, and I will just put 6 spots of seeds in each of the 3 by 6, and I'm going to do 12 of each of the varieties of the phlox. So I'll start with the Twinkle Star Mix. I did these Twinkle Star Mix last year, and they actually turned out, they were really cute. So I'm just going to put 2 seeds in each spot, and then I can always separate them if both the seeds take, but if only one of the seeds takes, then I'm still good. But if both the seeds take, I can either pluck the one seed out that's not as strong, or I can separate them and have both the plants being saved to plant them. So there's that. We'll put them back. I don't remember doing these last year. I think this is a new seed variety that I'm trying. So I'm not exactly sure what these ones are like. I did do the twinkle ones last year. I just do a few because I have so many varieties of flowers that I'm doing, and there are some that I want a lot of. This I just want a variety, to have a little bit of variety of different flowers. But there are some things like petunias and marigolds that I want a lot of. With the marigolds, I use them for pests and to deter them. Okay, so that's it for the phlox. I'm going to put a light cover of soil over top of that. And then I'm going to add just these in with my echinacea in the total darkness. I'm using my 20 row seed starting tray, and with these I'm going to be starting some seeds that they require a bottom heat. So I will be putting these seeds that I start with a heat mat underneath it. So this was the reasoning of having this. Unfortunately, I cannot fit my tags in here, even if I cut them down, because I'm going to be putting a dome over top of this to keep the moisture in. So I'm starting with the Aunt Molly's ground cherries. And these are the Aunt Molly's ground cherries. They kind of, the plant grows like a tomato, the tomatillo, where you have the papery husks. And inside the papery husks are this little fruit, because they don't taste like a tomato, but when you pop them in your mouth, they're kind of like a citrusy, fruity flavor. They're quite nice. They have tiny, tiny little seeds in them. So I am going to start these ones first. And they came in this little foil pouch. And I don't know how many seeds I have. And then once these seeds germinate, I will be separating them and start potting them up into their own actual tray. But because they need a heat mat, I'm just going to I don't know, I'm gonna plant, I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe I'll do 10, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And these ones have a tendency to reseed themselves. So if those little fruits drop onto the ground and you don't see them and they are just on the soil, they will end up reseeding themselves the following year. So that's it for that first one. And then what I've done is I've just, instead of having tags, I've wrote on this painter's tape. So this first one was the Aunt Molly's ground cherries. And I'm just going to, I've already wrote on it. And I will just cut that off. And I'm just going to put it on the side here so that I can see what it is that I've started. Next is going to be petunias. I didn't have any petunia seeds. I thought I had petunia seeds and I didn't have any, so I went and quickly picked some up. So these are the Super Cascade mix that I got. And I'm going to do those. They're in their own little pouch. And these are a pelleted seed. And thank goodness for that, because petunia seeds are small. So I will put them out on this plate. And I think I'm just going to plant all of them. And then I can separate them out after, once they've gotten established. I'm just trying to get them all out. There we go. Got them all out of the bag. And I'm just going to run them down. So I'll grab quite a few. I'm just going to drop them across, and then I can separate them out. And I might actually spread them out over 2 rows, because I still have quite a few seeds here, which is good. I paid, what was it, $3.99 for this pack of seeds. And I'm going to get 2 of these rows, and who knows, however many seeds take, that's what I'll get. So I have 2 rows of that. So then what I'll do, instead of putting tape on this one, I'll just skip a row and then go to the next one and put my label on the next one. They are blue Easy Wave petunias, and these will cascade down over, they get 6 to 12 inches high, but they will be good in a hanging basket because they cascade down. I can feel in this foil pouch there's some seeds at the top here, and I don't want to lose them when I go to peel this open. So put these on the tray. These are again pelleted, not as many as the last pouch that I just did, and that's okay. So I'll just spread these out along this row, but they're pelleted, so that's nice. That one actually, the pellet just crumbled in my hand, or crumbled in between my fingers, I should say. So hopefully there was a seed in there, because all I dropped on the soil was powder. And I'll just fit these in this whole row. I'm going to put this one, I'll put it double pirouette rows. I like the double petunias, the ruffly edges on it, and then it has white around the outer edge of it. So that looks quite pretty. And I will put my tag on there. It's good to have all this stuff organized in advance so that you can just carry on. I mean, it probably takes me a good half an hour to have all of this all put into place, between getting the dirt so that it's wet for planting, because you don't want to use dry soil, because then your seeds won't germinate. The soil definitely has to be quite moist. So, oh, these ones are pelleted as well. Well, they're from the same company, so, and I see some of the pelleted stuff is crumbled on this one too. Okay, so again, I'm just going to spread these out over my row. Whew. They just are rolling all over the place. With it having the pelleted coating on it, makes them a little more trickier to catch. All right, I got 2 in that one. So I've dropped one, and there's the other one. I've got 3 left, and I'm just gonna dump, once I get these last 3 planted, I'm just gonna dump this powder over top of the row, because I don't know if there's any seeds left in here. I'm just gonna get, because there probably is, if the pelleted coating is gone into a powder, there's probably some seeds in there still. We will do the portulaca. This is a double mix color portulaca. They just look like little tiny roses, and the leaves on them are long and slender, and they're, well, they're not thick, but they kind of remind me of a succulent. The leaves remind me of a succulent plant. And these are quite tiny, and they are definitely not pelleted. And I'm just going to plant all what I have here. So I'm just going to take it and run it across the soil. And I have no idea how many seeds that are going on there, because it's so small. So I'm just going to go back and forth with these seeds, and I'm going to do 2 of these rows with the portulaca. And I love portulaca. They're quite pretty, actually. I remember my parents would have portulaca in their flower beds. Oh, I guess I'm doing a 3rd row. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. That's okay. I'm going to have a schwack of portulaca, that's for sure. And that's okay. So that is it for the portulaca. Scabiosa. I have tried scabiosa before. It kind of has a reflection, but it hasn't done very well. And I don't know why. These are nice big seeds. I'm just going to plant them all. So 1, 2, 3, I need to go in this row with the scabiosa. So I will just drop these seeds across. And even if I have to do 2 rows of these, I'm okay with that. And we'll see what happens, because I have tried these before. If I go into my book, which this is what I do, is I write down everything. And I did try these last year. So I'm going to look and see what happened with the scabiosa, because I know I planted these last year. Yeah, I have it highlighted, and it did not even sprout. So I don't know. I don't know what the issue is with those, because they didn't sprout. So I will just plant all of them, I guess. And hopefully I can get something. I'll just do the last 2 rows. I don't think I'll be able to plant all these seeds, though. That's the only thing. I'll just plunk them in different spots. And like I say, these will all be going on the heat mat. And I'll put the rest of these back in the bag. Okay, so that's it for those. I got to put my last tag on here. And that is it for my seeds that need to go on the heat mat. So I'm just going to look here. I think the ground cherries need to be covered with soil. The petunias, I just want to press into the soil, and I don't want to cover it. So I'm just going to press it in. And what that does is it just gives it a good contact with the soil, so that it increases its rate of germination. So I'm just going to press down on each of these. At least I can see them with them being pelleted on where the seed is. If they weren't pelleted, I wouldn't even know if I was pushing them into the soil or not. And then I'm not going to cover these. Okay. And I don't cover the portulaca, but I am going to cover the scabiosa and the ground cherries. So I just need Where is my, oh, there's my soil. So I'm covering the Aunt Molly's. So I'll just put a fine layer of soil on the Aunt Molly's. I didn't want to put any on the petunias right beside it. And I'll just press down on that. And I need a fine layer of soil on the Scabiosa. And the seeds are a little bigger, so I'll have to make sure that I cover it over the seed. And then I'll just press down on the soil as well over the Scabiosa. So there we go. I've got them labeled. And then we'll take it over and put it over on the... Oh yes, I'm also going to need to get a dome for this, and I need to set up my heat mat too. Okay, so what I've done here is I have some of my plants, the seeds that I've started. This is the ones that have to be covered and in total darkness. And this is my sweet pepper plants that I have started. So the California Wonder have sprouted, but these color mix peppers haven't sprouted yet. They're taking a little bit longer. These are the Santa Cruz begonias, and they actually have sprouted. So I can take these, well actually I can leave them here, but I'm going to take them off of the heat mat, which I have underneath. So on this tray that I have these under cover, over there, that is the phlox that I just started. And over here is the echinacea. And I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to put this over here. But right here, there's a little sprout, and there, and there. I don't see any in the tray in behind it, but my echinacea is just starting to sprout. So the echinacea needed to be on the heat mat to germinate, but the phlox does not. Hi, so I'm back. It's a couple of days later. My camera actually ran out of room on the disc that's in it. I had no more space to have any more videos to record, so I ended up having to transfer them onto my computer. Finally, actually I was without a computer for a full week, so that's another reason why I haven't had a chance to put out a whole heck of a lot of videos in the last little while. So anyways, we're back and we're gonna finish carrying on with the seeds that we have. I've got my flat all set up with the dirt in it. I've got my tags in all set up as well. So I forgot that I had some garlic chives and I wanted to start those. So I am going to be starting those first to start off. The seeds are quite large. They actually look a lot like your onion seeds. So I'm going to just put 2 garlic chive seeds in each spot. I have regular chives already that actually the previous owner at this property had them planted in the front of at the front of the house. So I want to try some garlic chives and put them in a few other locations around the property, a couple out in the garden. And I have some more space. I have a little planter right near my front door, and I wouldn't mind putting some in there just to have it handy. That's where we have the regular chives. that come up every year, and I'd like to add the garlic chives. I plant in that planter as well. I plant my parsley, and I also did some basil in that front bed too. But the parsley did really good in there, and the chives do really good in there. So yeah, want to try some garlic chives. And these ones, you actually plant them a 1/2 inch deep. It says to start these 6 weeks before the last frost, and we are actually 9 weeks before the last frost, but I'm starting them now, and I'm okay with that. Next is Sweet William. Sweet William is actually biennial, and that just means it will flower every 2 years. And I do have some of this out at by the front of my driveway that I had planted, and I did notice it flowering last year, so it might not flower this year. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. It's not supposed to anyways. That's what the biennial means, is that it flowers every 2nd year. But if I put them in this year, then they should flower next year. And the same, I'm just gonna do 6 plants. So I'm gonna put 2 seeds in each spot, and we'll see. I missed a spot. I'm too busy talking and I'm not paying attention. So I am only doing a few, like 6 plants of each of these, depending on how many there are. Like if I only have, because some of these packages, oh yes, I wanted to transfer this into a plastic baggie because there's still quite a few of these. I was talking when the other day, 2 days ago, when I was doing my other seeds, and it was the, which one was it that I was, the Scabiosa. I was making a comment about why they weren't taking. And when I looked at the date of when I got those seeds, I was like, oh, well, they're 2004. That could have something to do with why they aren't taking. These Sweet Williams, I actually got these in 2017, and I have planted these before, so they did take. So we'll see if they're still a viable seed or not. Next is going to be my straw flower. I got quite a few of those, so I will just do a few of the seeds. I have so many that I'm starting this week that I just don't want to run out of space for, I still have a lot that I still have to do, and I know that I have an extra planting tray, but I just don't want to have too many and then have no room to be able to do all the seeds that I want to do, that I want to get started. This next one is a Nicotiana, and it is a deep purple, and it has a very, very strong perfume scent to it. So I'm excited to try these. They come in a little tiny vial, and they're a pelleted seed with a coating on it. They're fairly small, and they're pelleted with the green. The other day I was doing petunias, and they had yellow pelleting on them. These ones are green. So I will just do 2 in each spot. That one, I think I dropped 3 in there. So, but if I can always split them up if I find that all 3 of them take. and move them around. I will be up potting my geraniums, and I'm gonna have to dump these into my hand to be able to put them back into this little plastic vial that these seeds came in. I will be separating my snapdragons this week as well, because I have quite a few that are growing and I need to put them into their own individual spots and split them up and sort them out. So I only have a few of the dahlia seeds, and these are the Figaro mixed colors. Those are pretty. I did plant these last year, but the plants were established, but they didn't flower. So I'm starting them a little bit earlier this year. And again, I'm just putting 2 seeds in each spot. And I think I have just, I'm actually gonna have a couple of extras. So I'm just gonna drop these in, and wherever they land, that's where. It's a Chilean glory flower. I've been trying to grow this, and I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be doing too much as far as getting established, and I'm not sure what is the problem or what I'm doing wrong, but I am actually on this one, because I haven't had very good success with it, I'm going to put 3 seeds in each spot. And when did I get these? In 2017. So they are now 5 years old, and I would think they still should be good. They're not 2004 like the Scabiosa, so I don't know. We'll try them again this year and see what happens, but I haven't had very good success with them in the last couple of years, so maybe this year will be my last year. Stalks. I actually really like stalks. Oh, there they are. These are Giant Imperial Stalk Mix. And I've bought stock plants. I haven't really started too many of my own stock plants, so I decided to get some of these, and I actually picked these up in 2015. So I am going to put 3 in each spot of these seeds, and then I can split them up too. I've got a lot of seeds going on, and I just don't want to run out of room. And I'm going to need to put these into a plastic little baggie. Stalks I don't cover, so I have to remember that I'm not going to cover the stalks. Don't cover the seeds on the stalks. Do not cover the seeds on the straw flower. And I do not cover the seeds on the Nolana, which will be my next one that I'm going to be doing. So there's actually quite a few in this tray that I will not be covering the seeds on. So it's always good to make notes of what you're supposed to be doing with which seeds. So I'm going to do the Nolana next. And the Nolana are actually a really pretty flower if you want something for along the edge. They kind of cascade down a little bit. I only have 7 seeds of the Nolana. So I will plant all 7 of them. And since I have spots for 6, I will just throw the 7th one in and wait and see what happens. I'll just put it in the middle. So that's it for my Nolana seeds. I don't even have, these are from Lindenberg and they don't have a picture of them, but I have done them and they're really a cute little plant. And like I say, they're great for of the edge of your flower gardens, or you can have them in baskets and they will hang down over the side. Now these are balsam. And this is the Camilla Double Mix balsam. And I will just put 2 seeds in each spot. My hollyhocks that I have grown, the only one that I've ended up getting flowers from them were my, it was called a halo mix. These, the Niagara. These are a pelleted seed. These are huge. Okay, so my Niagara are right here. I will just plunk 1 seed in each spot, and these are the ones that I'm not going to cover. But I really wish these would take, because I think like they're a black flower and I think they would be absolutely gorgeous if they would just take for me. So here's hoping that they will take. You know what? Maybe I'll just put in 2 side by side and then kind of better my chances. So let's put 2 in side by side. Good idea, Cheryl. And I will do the same with the Queenie Purple too. And I'm gonna do the Queenie Purple. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drop 2 in each spot. Now these ones are not pelleted, so look at the size difference of those compared to those pelleted purple ones. So I'm going to put 2 in each spot. Make sure I got them in the right tray with the right marker. So there's 2 in each spot. It's going to be the Halo mix, and I mean, that's what they look like on the package. It says a mix, but the pink ones were the only ones that flowered last year. And saved. This whole little snack baggie is filled with Halo Mix flower seeds. So again, I'm going to put 2 in each spot. And then I'm going to cover the seeds that need to be, oh, I got 3 in that one, so that's okay. I got pulled, they're easy enough to see. And this collection that I have was from one plant. Like, I have hundreds, maybe even thousands. I even have 1,000 of them in here. I wouldn't doubt it. I'll make sure I look at my list here that I've taken notes for, so I can cover the garlic chives with a light. This one was 1/2 inch on the garlic chives, so, and I've got some little bits of clumps in here, so I'm kind of breaking it up as I drop it. I'm not going to cover any of the hollyhocks, and not the Nolana or the stalks. What about Sweet William? Let me take a look at my list. I can cover the Sweet William. So So we'll do that. Okay. The dahlias barely cover the seeds, it says. And then I'll be putting a dome over top of these. Nicotiana is a light cover. I need a little bit more. Straw flower, I think that was one that not to cover. Yeah, do not cover the straw flower. The balsam I can cover with 1/4 of an inch of soil. And the Chilean flower, I can't remember. Where was that? I just, 1/8 of an inch of soil. So that's not very much. Okay, good. We're on to our next flat of flowers, and I am starting with the, pardon me, the gazania. Gazania, it is a mix. This is a sunshine mix flower. I love gazanias. It reminds me of the Gerbera daisies. And I did these last year, and it was kind of like the dahlias, where the plant did great, but they didn't flower. So I'm starting them earlier than I did last year, so that I can have them more established in hopes to get the flower from them. So I planted out all the seeds for that one. I would definitely order gazanias again. I really like them. And this year I bought, these are columbines. And I have never seen a columbine with a ruffled, and it's almost like the double petunias, where it's just a full flower. There's lots of ruffles. They have, what were the different colors that I had seen? They have white, rose, violet, purple, black, and a lot of them are bicolors. So there's one there, it's pink with white tips, purple with white tips, and then there's the purple black shades to them. So I am going, I've never tried these before. And the columbines, they are a perennial, so they will come back each year, and they're good for our zone. I am a zone 3, and holy, these are just bouncing all over the place, bounced right off the plate. I'm going to do 2 seeds per spot. These are brand new seeds, so I shouldn't have a problem as far as them coming up. And with me doing 2 in each spot, I could have the potential of having 12 plants. And if that's the case, I will split them up and up pot them into a bigger pot if need be. So I'm excited to have those. Asparagus. And as I've said before, I have asparagus that I had bought in crowns in the garden. But I'm starting these by seed because I want to add to my asparagus patch. So I'm just going to put 1 seed in each spot, so that, and I'm doing 2 of the 3 by 5 inch trays, so then I could have the potential of having 12 new plants And I'm just going to put them in spots where I don't have asparagus growing up, because asparagus is one of the first things, if you have established plants in your garden, asparagus is one of the first vegetables that you will see coming up, because they are a perennial and you don't have to plant them every year. So there we have that. I'm putting in the osteospermum, which is a type of a daisy. I grew these last year and it was a straight purple. This time I went with lavender shades, and I am going to do 2 of the trays as well, the same as I did with the asparagus. And I'm just going to put 1 seed in each spot, and I have just enough seeds here to plant out all 12. So that's great. These were really pretty. I was really happy with the way that these seeds turned out. And it says to cover lightly, so I'll have to remember that. The asparagus, I can cover those, and the columbines, yeah, I can cover those. So it's always good to check your packages to see what you're covering. Okay, next I'm going to be doing some marigolds. These are marigold seeds that I got from my brother-in-law, and they were a really nice big orange marigold. And I'm going to just put a good little handful here. And again, I'm going to put 2 seeds in each spot. And if they both take, then I'll end up with 24 marigold seeds. And I love having marigolds in the garden. They're a good pest deterrent for other plants. And I just like marigolds. They're actually quite pretty. And these ones were quite nice and big. Really nice big flower on them. So I was glad that we were able to get some of these from my brother-in-law. We just collected the seeds from the existing plants. He bought these plants. Actually, I think my sister-in-law picked them out. And we were able to get some off of the plants once they dried up. We took the seeds off of the flowers. Oh, I was missing one there. And I kept them over winter, and now I'm replanting them again. Now I have it, this is a petite mix. And these ones, these marigolds, get 8 to 10 inches high. So not huge, but super cute. And I will do the same, 2 seeds in each spot. Marigolds, if you ever get the chance to just let those flowers dry and then open up the dried up flower head, and that's where all the seeds are, and you can collect them. Make sure that they're dry before you put them into a baggie to store over the winter, and you can have your own marigold seeds and have marigolds every year. Last year I did some vanilla marigold, so it's a creamy white, and those were pretty, but I didn't get very many seeds in the pack, and I didn't order any more because I knew I had marigold seeds, so I didn't bother getting that kind. This one here is called a lemon drop, and that's what they look like. They get 9 to 12 inches high, not overly big. They have a smaller flower on them, whereas those orange ones that I planted first, they have quite a large flower on them. And that's why I was super excited to get those seeds and be able to plant those in my garden. So almost finished with another flat. That's like 2 flats of flowers within no time. So there's that. Cover all of these with a bit of soil again. And then I will put a plastic dome over these. None of these need any extra implements on them. I don't have to have them on a heat mat. I don't have to have them in total darkness. I just am going to put a plastic dome over top, which will help with germination, speed up the germination rate once. And I'll put them under my lights, but once they have sprouted, then I will take the plastic dome off and let them continue growing. And once they get to a couple of inches or an inch or so to 2 inches, then I will separate them and put them in their own designated spots. Okay, last but not least, we have Alyssum. The first one I'm doing is the Carpet of Snow Alyssum. And I'm going to put 3 Alyssum seeds in each spot. These are with Alyssum, I will not be separating my plants. I'm just going to put 3 seeds in each of the 6 spots and just let them grow, because these are ones that you don't have to split up. So I'm just grabbing, I could have 3 or 4 seeds in each spot. And with Alyssum, you just lightly cover the seeds. Next is the Easter Bonnet mix, and this is a mix of colors, and the mix of colors are, does it say? Does not even say. But I have grown them before, and you have a mix of pink and purple, white, I think there's like a light purple and a dark purple. This one has its own little pouch that they're in. Okay, and I am going to do the same. Put about 3 or 4 seeds in each spot. Is my Royal Carpet Alyssum. And it's a violet purple blooms. And these ones actually are 3 to 4 inches high. So not really very big at all. Well, we have quite a few of these. I got lots of these. So I won't be using these all up. But I'm going to shake them around my plate to kind of split them up so I have a better idea of how many seeds I'm gathering off my plate. Because, you know, there's no point in getting too many because I only want 3 or 4. Sometimes I end up with 5, but I'm aiming for 3 or 4 seeds. Don't want to forget that step of it. Yes, this went quite fast, actually. Okay, so I'm going to put these on the shelf, put a dome over top of them, and then we'll just take a quick look at the plants that I have going on. It's kind of hard to see, but all of these ones in the back here, those are my peppers. And some of them have 3 leaves, but I'm waiting until they get their 3 to 4 true leaves, and then I'll be splitting them up. These ones in the front here, these are my eggplants. In behind those are the Big Bertha peppers. I have cayenne. In the back, Tabasco. This is celery. Behind that is the shishito peppers. And then that little single one in the very back, that is a little geranium seed. Here we have geranium seeds. This is all pansies. Those are going to get up potted. The geraniums are getting up potted. The celery's getting up potted. And my peppers I'm going to up pot. In front of that, I have, these are the jalapeno peppers. Behind those are the California. I'm not doing this, giving it any justice. These are the California Wonder peppers. In the front, oh sorry, these are the California Wonder peppers. These in the back over here are the gypsy peppers. This whole tray here, oh sorry, no, it's not the whole tray. This is chamomile. This is petunias. It belongs over here. This one here is all foxglove. I have rosemary here. Little darling snapdragons. These are all carnations. These are my mini mix snapdragons. I will be up potting and separating all of these. Oh, let's look under here. These are some of my herbs I started last weekend. So this is the borage, 2 days ago. These I just started last weekend. These are my onions. And I was saying how I was doing multi-sowing, and then in this front one is the 3x5 tray that I just sprinkled seeds over top, and I'm letting them grow, and then I'll split the seeds up after. In behind is the multi-sowing, and I will just plant that whole clump of, and this is the Elsa Craig onion. These are leeks. The ones in the back are just starting to sprout. This is the ruby red onion. In the front, I just spread the seeds around, and then I multi-sowed in the back. This is the Walla Walla onion. Again, multi-sowed in the back. Then I have oregano, thyme, and then all basil, but these have not started to sprout yet. So what I will end up doing is taking these onion seeds that have sprouted, and I will move them over into a tray without a dome on them. Okay, so there you have it. That's what I have going on for this weekend. Did a bunch of seeds, got them all started, and next weekend we'll be doing tomatoes, starting up all my varieties of tomatoes. So that's all I have for today. If you like this video, throw a like in there. And if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, we'll talk to you again, and bye for now.